Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is It is June 4th today, and we're looking here at the mid-level water vapor loop. I'm going to put this into motion. You can kind of see the Pacific Northwest to the upper right. You see this ridge of high pressure out here across the Pacific Ocean. We're going to be playing cat and mouse with that here over the next, the upcoming time period here. And we're going to see just how far to the east this ridge is going to move, how much of an effect will it have on our weather, and we'll see what's to come through the extended forecast as well. You can see that closed off of California, bringing some pretty active weather there, probably 1,000 plus lightning strikes across some of Southern California, as you can see, and you can see our much more tranquil weather here across the Pacific Northwest. But we are going to warm up a bit here. We're into the early stages of summer, meteorological summer anyway. It starts on June 1st. But yeah, we'll go over those details here. Let's start diving into things here. As you can see, I'm in a hotel. I'm in Springer, New Mexico right now. We're going to chase some storms out here tomorrow, probably be towards southwest Kansas on the day tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, anyway, taking a look here, you can kind of see how that mid-level water vapor resembles the 500 millibar heights. Of course, you got the Pacific high out over the Pacific Ocean there, and you can kind of see that across the Gulf of Alaska, a little bit of blocking storm systems well off to the north across Alaska. So if I put that into motion, you see that ridge kind of hanging out there, and then it starts to creep a bit towards the Pacific Northwest. See that big red blob there, and the heights kind of increasing as we go through this upcoming weekend. We're going to warm up. We got some nice days in store, but also off to the back, to the northwest there, you can see the trough across the Gulf of Alaska. That is going to flatten the ridge a little bit there as we go through the early portion of next week, but still some above average heights here as we go on in towards about Monday night. So taking a look here, I backed up here across the Gulf of Alaska. You can see Washington, Oregon, British Columbia way to the right, the bottom right of the screen. If I put that into motion, you can kind of see that clockwise rotation out over the Pacific Ocean there, and that is going to bring some warm temperatures at about 5,000 feet. And you can kind of see how we really warm up as we go through maybe Saturday, Sunday. But again, we've got a trough there coming into the southeast Alaska. It's going to help flatten out the ridge here a bit, but you still see the above normal temperatures there. So again, that's why I mentioned the cat and mouse relationship with this high pressure out over the Pacific Ocean. Now, taking a look here over the next 15 days, this is yesterday's European. You can see the precipitation anomalies were expected to be drier than normal across much of the region, as you can see. And yeah, that really didn't change much from yesterday at all. And here is the 2-meter temperature anomaly. This is a one-day running total here. And if I put this into motion, you can kind of see how we go through Friday, Saturday, into Saturday. You see these temperatures really warming up as we go on into Sunday, and well above normal here across much of the region. If I scroll down, some places are approaching 20 or even more degrees above normal here as we go through the end of the upcoming weekend and maybe on into the early portion of next week. That's something we'll be watching here over the next few days. Now, looking at 2-meter and max temperature, this is today, Wednesday, June 4th. You see Seattle topping at about 70. Something similar down there for Portland, warmer east of the mountains, pretty typical. Boise up towards 80 degrees. Looking at Thursday, we warm up. Look at Seattle at 76. Then look at that Friday. The gradual warming continues. 78 for Seattle. Look at mid-80s. Some upper 80s for the southern Willamette Valley, maybe some mid-90s for eastern Washington. We go to Saturday, and then Seattle checking in at 81. There's Sunday. Look at Seattle at 87. And you also see much of the region warming up. Boise at 97, some 101 degree readings across portions of southwest Oregon as well. Look at that 101, probably exceeding 100 degrees for maybe some of the Tri-Cities out there also. There's Monday, not much of a cool down there, and still pretty warm for Seattle and Portland, Willamette Valley. Then we go Tuesday, a little bit of a gradual cooling trend through the extended forecast, but we'll worry about that coming up here. We're still looking a little bit too far off into the extended right there. So taking a look here at North America, this again is 500 millibar heights, and you can kind of see how the ridging and the troughing exists. There's the ridge that stays with us through this weekend, and this is the GFS last night's run. If we put this into motion, you can see we do have some troughing starting to show up through the extended forecast. I mean, we're looking at 70, 180 hours out of the forecast. So you take it with a grain of salt, but the models continue to show some troughing right off the Pacific Northwest coastline there as we go through mid-June. So that could bring us some interesting weather there and, cool us down. Definitely no heat wave there also. And a little artifact, kind of a well-known flaw with the GFS, it likes to spawn those tropical systems. So if anybody's watching out here and you have family across the Gulf of Mexico, you can kind of ignore the GFS with those strong systems as of right now. It shows a pretty powerful hurricane there, but it always does that kind of a glitch in the system that's it's a well-known artifact there with the GFS. But yeah, that's what I got for you today. I may do a hotel review and maybe post that later because we stayed in a pretty interesting place, a suite with a shared bathroom. Nice, cozy, quaint place here in New Mexico. So anyway, yeah, I will try to do these briefings on a daily basis out here. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.